Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Blasphemous statement against Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam by two prominent leaders of BJP. Nupur Sharma, she is national spokesperson of BJP, and the other person is Naveen Jindal, who is in fact chief of the media affairs. They have in fact openly on their various social media platform, very unfortunately, uttered some very blasphemous statement against Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is highly condemnable, and the whole Muslim world should, of course, react to this kind of thing. And I'm very happy to announce this thing, that this has been a very first time that collectively a lot many Muslim countries have reacted to this, and they have in fact shown the concern that this kind of statements are totally unwarranted and cannot be tolerated. And that was primarily the reason that the BJP has to remove these two persons from their important political positions. So this is one side of the story. But actually this kind of thing is not something that is happening in India. India has been since long an epicenter of Islamophobic activity. Of course, we have a lot many examples from Kashmir, where you see Muslims are ghettoized there. They are put into containments, and they are in fact suffering from a kind of genocidal effort on part of Indian government. And especially when Modi government come in power, they have been very anti to Muslims and Islam. And some of the things that are very obvious and some of the things that has been reported lately in media are what? These are in fact, they are changing the names of the roads, which are of course very old roads and on the name of many Mughal emperors. And they have also changed the name of the airports, which are on the name of Mughal emperors. And also a very, what you call it as an international museum that was also on the name of a Mughal empire, a Mughal emperor. Their names have been completely changed, and the new personalities which in fact showing the Hindutva kind of ideology that the Muslims do not have any role to play, rather Hindus are the people, those who are superior than any other nation. And there is of course Muslim in minority, and minority does not have any right to have these kind of things in India. So this is something of course very remarkable, especially during this period of time when Hindutva ideology seems to be in operation in India. I think the whole Muslim world should take notice of these kind of things. I think this is a primary responsibility of the Muslim world, Muslims Ummah leader, to in fact create those kind of situation where whatever the blasphemous statement that has been spoken against Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that should not be considered just the blasphemous and should be covered under the blasphemous laws. Rather, that should be made hate speech. We know this thing very well, that in the West, hate speech is considered to be more stringent than blasphemy, because at most of the places in the world, they consider that blasphemy is a hurdle in the way of freedom, or their freedom of expression. But whenever it comes to hate speech, very stringent laws are there, and actions are taken by their courts and by their societies. I think the Muslims Ummah should collectively propose this thing to United Nations, that anything that has been said about Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam which is negative in nature, putting him in dark light, and not only Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, any Muslims religious sacred personality, if they are put into some kind of dark light in any part of the world, that is to be considered as a hate speech and to be made as part of the hate speech law. And that is to be done through the United Nations and United Nations resolutions. And OIC should work on that, and Muslim Ummah and Muslims Ummah leaders should also work on that. I think this is the way towards which we should aspire for, so that nobody in the world should be able or should dare to say anything blasphemous against Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We should collectively work on that, and unless Muslim Ummah leaders do not collectively work on that, I don't think that anything positive would come up. So my proposal in this regard, I mean in the backdrop of whatever the statements that has been issued by Nupur from India, BJP and Naveen Jindal, this is in fact necessitating that the Muslim Ummah should talk about it now more vigorously, that whatever the blasphemous speeches are being made by the people, they should be treated under hate laws.